Hey, everybody. I'm Moose Rosenfeld in Houston, Texas. I am Network in Action's very first franchise owner, dating back to April of 2015. Last year, I came across a guy named Warren Fiihr, and he is just a remarkable person. And over the course of the past, I don't know how many years, Warren, that you've been involved with Action Coach, but some of the accolades that this guy has had. He's helped manage and large sales and marketing organizations across 9 different states, which is incredible. We both have a background in broadcast media. I was radio, Warren was television, and Comcast cable. He led at the age of 39. I think this is really a phenomenal accolade. At 39, he was leading a multi-state advertising sales organization with revenues exceeding $100 million. That's pretty good. And so he takes that and he helps local businesses really around the country. He's not just limited to Houston, but he's going to help you grow, all your everything about your business. He can have a hand in helping you make it profitable. Um, this is what I really think about. He's a golfer. I'm a golfer. We both have a broadcast background, so we kind of connected immediately. He's 30-year marriage with Paula, which is incredible, 2 adult daughters. And he likes to play golf. He played in my Bad Pants Open golf tournament this year, had one of the craziest outfits ever. And he likes to golf, surf, travel, occasional dive. 3 things that he has that I don't are 2 guinea pigs and a parrot, which is totally cool. With that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Warren and just tell us everything we need to know about growing, kicking the heck out of 2026. Warren, it's on you, buddy. Thank you.
Moose, you're too kind. Thank you for the kind words. And yeah, the guinea pigs are not mine. They're my daughters. So they come home now during college. So thankfully, I mean, they're pretty darn cute, by the way. The bird is a parrot that found us by the Science Museum in Sugar Land, which is near Houston. So the bird actually found us and we looked for the owner, and the owner was nowhere to be found. So now we have a bird. That's the way our pets find us generally. I don't know if you all have had that same situation, but that's the way it works at our house.
And a couple of dogs.
And a bunch of dogs, and that varies from time. One found us in our place in Georgia. So like we literally our pets adopt us. It's very weird. So no squirrels, skunks, anything like that yet. So how y'all doing? Thank you for taking the time. Here's the deal. We're going to spend the next 50 minutes together. And I really want this to be super interactive. I want to hear from you. Collaboration is the best way to learn. And when I think about this last year, what we accomplished, what we didn't accomplish, the last year is way gone now, right? Does anybody know what, was it January 9? Anybody know what January 9 was? Put it in the chat or say it out loud right now. January 9, anybody? January 9 is Quitter's Day. So that's the day that all the people stop, the majority of the people quit doing their resolution. Anybody still raise of hands or on the screen? Anybody still have a resolution they still are doing? Yes? Congratulations. That's awesome. And that's really the key to success, right? So I don't want to talk about resolutions. What I really want to talk about is how we're going to kick the crap out of 2026 now. So let me ask you, did any of you do the pre-work thing that we went through kind of in our own groups? And no is okay. I just want to get an idea because I don't want to be redundant. I got a yes and a no. And another no. Okay, mostly no's. I'm going to go with mostly no's just on my small sample size. Thank you very much. Now we're getting interaction too. I love this. Okay, so we'll do a little doubling back on some of this stuff and we'll rock and roll. Also, I'm going to tell you right away, there is a workbook. I don't know if it was sent out. If it wasn't sent out, what we'll do is we'll get it to you afterwards. I want you to fill it in. Here's what we really want to do today. And if we do this, I would call this success. If we can come up with, okay, let me ask you this first. How many of you have goals for first quarter or the year? And I'll wait for the chat or if somebody, yes, I got a bunch of yeses. Perfect. Okay. So for those of you that have goals, good job. First of all, that's awesome. Okay, didn't get a workbook. We'll send those out afterwards to participants, Rebecca or maybe Daniela. We can figure out how to do that. Okay. Goal is number one in the nation. I like it. Okay. So when we're thinking about goals this year, if you have goals already and set, what I want to do with y'all then is potentially refine those goals, compress those goals, or figure out how to maybe add on or add a different goal, or maybe tweak it slightly, okay, to make it more actionable. So that would be the goal for y'all. For those of you that don't have goals, we got to have at least 3 by the end of this time together. Fair enough? Okay. I'm going to take that as a yes. I love number one in the nation, by the way. And one of my goals I'll share with you is to double my business this year. And what I can tell you is this. So I did my planning at Action Coach. We do a quarterly planning thing with all of our clients. Guess how often we do that? Put it in the chat. Anybody guess how often we do the quarterly planning? Quarterly, yes. Good job. Once per year. I'm hoping that's a smart answer, but yes, quarterly is the correct answer. Good. It's in the name. These are not tough questions, folks. We're going to keep it simple. Okay. So we do our quarterly planning, and I did mine over the, between December and January, in that kind of holiday period there. And I can tell you one thing I can absolutely tell you, I look at these every day, and what we do, and hopefully what you all do, or what we want to get to by the end of the day today, is we schedule out these things on a weekly basis. So if I have a goal for the quarter, I got to figure out the 8 or 10 things I got to do on a weekly basis. I mean, not 8 or 10 things a week, but 8 or 10 things over the course of the quarter that are going to get me to hit that goal by the end of the quarter. So this is activity goals that are going to get us to our ultimate outcome, which is the goal we're trying to hit. And by having that on my calendar, there's a fair chance I'll actually do it. How many people out there have stuff on their calendar and don't do it? Or probably the real question is, who's buried in Grant's tomb? I love that. The real question is, if you don't put it on your calendar, how many people just do the stuff that you think you should do? Because for me, I'm just not that disciplined. Now, what I can tell you for absolute certain is, when it is on my calendar, there's a higher percentage chance I'm going to do it. And looking at it on a daily basis really helps. So think about this. We are now over 8% through the year. That's something, huh? That January went fast. 12 months in a year, 8 times 12, 96. That's about 100%. 8% done with the year. So I don't know if y'all are where you want to be at the end of January, but we want to get closer to hit that for February if we're not there. Okay. So what we want to do today is provoke some thought, break down some paradigms on what goals are and aren't, what they should be, and especially if you have goals already, let's do it. Anybody know the definition of insanity? Yes.
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yes. Thank you for jumping on camera. Yes. Doing the same thing and expecting different results. So what we want to do is maybe potentially change some behaviors today so that we can actually change our results. That's really what we're all trying to do here. How many of you are business owners? Put it in the chat. Do we mostly have business owners here? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. How many of you are $100 million business owners? Okay, probably not many. How many of you are $10 million business owners? In my dreams, right? That's a good goal, $100 million business, right? And how many of you have businesses that are over $1 million in revenue? Let's say revenue. Good, we got some of those. That's awesome. All right, so whether you're $1 million or a $10 million or $100 million business, I think we would all agree that, okay, let's stay with this. What got us to $100,000 isn't going to get us to $1 million. And what got us to $1 million is not going to get us to 10 million. And what got us to 10 million isn't going to get us to 100 million, correct? So when we look at businesses as a whole, whether we're talking about in Texas or in the United States, or we're talking about the whole world, we're in 84, 85 countries now, Action Coaches. It's really 3 things that business owners struggle with. Number 1, I don't have enough money. I'm not making enough money. That's profit. right? Not a shock. Everybody would probably like to be there, I would think. So number 2 is, I don't know what to do with my time. How do I manage my time? How do I figure out what I should be doing with my time? Because as a business owner, especially under $1 million, we're doing a lot of things. We're wearing a lot of hats. And then the last one is, what do I do with my team? I have people. Hopefully I have people, or I'm getting people. How do I get the right people? How do I hold them accountable? How do I grow them? And then how do we keep them? Because the good ones are always getting recruited away. Does that resonate with anybody? Hopefully it does. Okay. So we agree that if you do the same thing that you did last year, you're probably going to get the same result as last year. From some people that could be great. Other people, they want to do more, so they get more. Okay. Let's talk about goals. Does anybody know what SMART goals are? Anybody remember what the acronym is? You can feel free to jump onto Star. Do you want to tell me? I saw you put your hand up.
I did put my hand up because I can't help myself. Yes, I know. Yes.
I love it. Be action. I love action.
SMART goals are specific, measurable, actionable. I'm going to say realistic.
Yeah, it's realistic or relevant.
Relevant, exactly. Relevant or realistic.
Either one. Yep.
And timely.
Timely,
like
yes.
They're time-based.
Time-based, time-bound, right? Those are the things. Those are the 5 that's the acronym for SMART. And I'm going to stick this up here because what I want you to do is as we're going through this is think about, if you have these goals already, let's make sure first of all, make sure they're SMART. So specific, measurable, actionable, or achievable. Some people use those, and then relevant, and then time bound. Okay. So the goals that we have, right? Those of you that have goals, are they in that parameter? And if so, great. If not, how do we get them in there? And I think we can figure out what these are. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here because I think these are maybe some good examples. That's terrible language. These are good examples. Yeah, language matters, right? So I'm always coaching myself on how to have good language. Let's see if you can see this now. Everybody got it? Give me a thumbs up. Got it. Okay. So if you think about goals, and I really like to think in terms, especially in businesses under $1 million, which a lot of you are, or around $1 million or just over $1 million, I like to think about sales. So if we have 6 goals for a quarter, and we shouldn't have 25 goals, or probably even 8, 6 would be really great. If we could achieve 6 things in a quarter to move our business down the road, that would be incredible. You all agree with that? Hopefully. So I like to think about sales as one of those things. So thinking about sales, I'll use myself as an example, and I think this ties in perfectly. When you think about sales, one of the things we do, I would hope you're doing, is networking. This is networking in action, right? So I'll give a thumbs up to networking in action, and Moose and Scott and the team. I like this group because I've only been in maybe 4 or 5 months. And I will say I like this group because I think in this group, there are more people that have more game than some of the other groups that have 3-letter acronyms. And I mean that as a sincere compliment. And I've been able to do some business already in this company, in this networking group, because we've got people that are really trying to move the ball down the field. Higher caliber people. That's the deal. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm thankful for y'all. So anyway, back to sales. One of the things that I have to do in my business, because I run my business just like everybody else does. I got a business, and I got to actually take my own advice, which sucks kind of. It's kind of hard. Otherwise, I'm just like the plumber with the broken toilet. And my dad-in-law is actually a plumber, so this is a real story. The plumber with the broken toilet. So I got to follow my own advice. But I have to do 2 networking events. For me, it's 3. I have to do 3 networking events a week, and I'm not even counting my regular network and action group that I meet with once a month as one of those. So for me, 3 networking events a week is one of my sales things that I do. It's on my calendar every week. Now, how do I do that? Well, the best thing to do is actually schedule them and put them on my calendar. I know some of this might seem obvious, but sometimes the obvious is the best choice. So if I do that every week, if I do 3 of these per week, I'm going to get a couple people, 2 or 3 people that are going to engage that are either going to be potential referral partners or potential clients. Of the potential clients, and so on networking, I have an expectation, and the expectation is to connect other people, which is really, really fun. I hope you all agree with this. But then also, like, if I can get a coffee afterwards with somebody that I think we could do some business together or refer each other, that's awesome. So I get 3 or 4 of those. I'll get 2 of those that we would get into where we actually do a diagnosis. We open the hood, look under the hood and see how their business is working. And then 1 of those will turn into a client. So if I do that every week and I'm diligent, I'll have, well, let's just be really conservative. Let's say I'll have 6 new clients in the quarter. 6 new clients is awesome for my business. Okay. So I think that, so I put this up here for a reason. One of my other goals, and I just like to use myself as an example because then it's not just me preaching at you. This is stuff that I have to hold myself accountable to. One of my other things that I have to do is my networking referral partners. So one of my goals this year is to not go a mile wide and an inch deep on referral partners. And by y'all know what I mean by referral partners? Let me give you an example because I heard a few people shake their head. No, I saw a few people shake their head. Here's specifically what I mean. I think this is really good. So for me, a good referral partner for me is somebody that's dealing, and for anybody, no matter the business, is somebody that's dealing with the same target customer. So if my avatar or target customer, in my case, is a business owner that's doing, let's say, $1 to $10 million in revenue, who else is talking to those business owners? Business bankers, financial people, commercial insurance, commercial realtors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or like I was just at I have a veterinary hospital as one of my clients. I just drove back from there about an hour and a half ago. Bellaterra Animal Hospital, by the way, if you happen to be in the area around Katy or Sugar Land, go to them. They're awesome vets. So we talked to them about their referral partners. So if most of their customers are coming from a 5-mile radius of the vet clinic, then who's their referral partners? Anybody have any idea who a good referral partner would be for a vet clinic? And of course, somebody in a 5-mile radius, because you're not going to drive 50 miles for your vet. Can anybody come up with an idea of who that would be? Groomer. Yes. Number 1. Groomer is number 1 referral partner. Yes. So we literally had the conversation today. Hey, look, we got to get with these 2 or 3 groomers. Pet sitter walker, another great one. We got to get with these people and we got to sit down and have a chat with them. Pet store could be a good one. Absolutely. Have a chat with them about, okay, we're targeting the same people. How can we help each other and refer each other because we're targeting the same customer? And as we know from Network in Action, a referral goes a long ways, and a referral closes at a lot higher rate than a cold lead. Right? If a referral closes at 90%, a cold lead closes at 0.9% or 9%. All right. So anyway, so sales is a really good one. We got to have every business that's under $1 million has to have sales goals and ways to tweak out sales. And I'm going to give you a little more on this as we go through this presentation today. Okay. Networking events, et cetera. Now thinking about marketing, again, marketing is going to be another one with businesses. It doesn't care. I don't care what size your business is. Really, marketing is going to be a key. Measuring marketing, and we'll talk about that later. And then people. I like to have a people goal. If you are a business that has a bunch of employees, I don't know what you think, but I think I can prove without much doubt that if we get the right people, and we put the right systems in place. And we lead the people and the people run the systems and the systems will run our business and we will be very successful. And does anybody else agree that great people are hard to find? Yes, 100%. Marginal people, easy to find. And in fact, marginal people, they won't ever leave too. The good thing about the marginal people, they never leave. The bad thing about marginal people, they never leave. So the good people are getting recruited away, and a good person, and I will definitely attest to this with my people. And I have Rebecca, my person on the phone from California. A good person can do 3 times the work and give you 3 times the output of even a okay person. And everybody believe that? Everybody with me? So having goals to hold them accountable, but grow these great people to the next level should be part of our team goal. And so anyway, I'm standing on this a long time because I think this point is so important. So any quick questions about that? If you do, put them in the chat. I'll try to answer them as we go along. Cool. And then we'll have just a little bit of time at the end. I've already talked for like 20 minutes. You all must be bored. Are you all bored yet or not? Because I can just stop, like, y'all doing okay? Okay. All right. We're going to keep going then. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to show up, hopefully here. Yeah. Keep going. Okay. Thank you. I need the affirmation. The formula for life success, folks, I'm going to give it to you right now. This is no charge. Are you ready for the formula for life success? Once you have this, your life will never be the same. Yeah, Star's got, I like you, Star. You got good energy. I appreciate you. All right. So the formula for life success is, this is going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be so good. Be times do equals have. It's only 3 letters. It's only 3 words. Isn't that amazing? Be times do equals have. Do we all know what have is? By the way, I'm going to tell you, I think we can all agree that, and I think COVID really showed us that have is not, I need to have the most amount of money. I need to have the biggest yacht. I need to have the biggest airplane. I need to have the biggest house. Have is, to me, have is freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, great friendships, being able to travel. That's the have. Okay, so we got have. That's an easy one. Does everybody understand what do is? We know what do is. What do we have to do? Now, thinking about goal setting, obviously do is a real thing and we have to do some things. So setting out what we have to do to achieve the goal at the end of the quarter are very important. So action items that we have to do. Make sense? But what is be? Does anybody know what be is? Anybody want to take a shot at that? Who you become. Thank you. Behaviors. Yeah, go ahead. Somebody came off me. What's that?
I said, be extraordinary.
Be extraordinary. So that's great. I love that. So how do you be extraordinary?
By doing.
By doing what? I'm going to press you on this. I love Austin. Thank you for jumping on here. And I'm not pushing you, but I think this is awesome. So tell me by doing your core behaviors, your core values, your behavior, learn. Scott said learn. I love that. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with you. Discipline, be always doing the right thing, be busy, be referring, hang on, buddy, 1 second. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, and doing what you say you're going to do, taking on.
Yeah, do what you say you're going to do. Don't overextend, don't overreach, don't overpromise. Be honest.
Yes. Those are great. I love that. And thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. I love the comments in here. Be present. Yes. OHM. What's OHM stand for? Anybody know? What's OHM? Hey, Ben, what's OHM stand for? Ben's like,
it's just like a Buddhist chant.
Oh.
You've probably heard right? So be right. Sorry.
I love it. Thank you. Sorry. I always go to acronyms right away. I'm like, oh crap, is it to showing my age again? I don't know what OHM is. Thank you. I got you. Yeah. So the idea is, so that's a B thing too, right? It's like, what do we have to do for our B? How do we increase our B, be this best version of ourselves? And that is, what are we reading? What are we doing? How are we getting up in the morning? How are we protecting our energy? I just did a podcast. It's not up yet, but with a lady who really talks about, her book is The Art of Badassery, but it's a lot about protecting your own energy, and it's getting up in the morning and having a routine. And that can be meditation or prayer or stretching or yoga or exercise or some combination of those things to actually get your energy right. And I'm going to tell you this because it's a little off subject, but I think it's good. It's good for the B part of it. And that is, and don't quote me on the stats because I'm going to get it wrong. I talked to her yesterday. I believe, 80%, we get like 18,000 to, 50,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those are negative. So for protecting our B and who we are, that, having that positive self-information, having I am statements, those kinds of things can really make a difference. Having a vision. I have my vision board. Whoops. Whoa, things are falling apart here. I have my vision board back here. I'll show you, but I just knocked my light over, so I'm not going to do that. All right. So then when we're thinking about goals, who must I be? Who must I stop being? Right? That's just as important. What am I doing? What do I need to not do? So that can be a goal as well. I'm going to move on. I think we covered that one. Okay. Next slide is going to be our time target. Who's seen this time target before? Anyone? I gotta have my light on this thing here. Okay. No? Okay. So no. Whoa. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff on a slide, right? Okay. So I'm going to go through it really quick. Yeah, you saw a different version of this. Thank you, Scott. So the idea is, let's start. This is our time. We only have, anybody have more than 24 hours of time? Okay, I didn't think so. Good. Just checking, because I thought maybe somebody figured that out. Nobody has. All right. So thinking about our time, let's start from the outside. Not urgent and not important. If you look at the top part of the circle there, not urgent and not important. Should we be doing that stuff? Not a complicated answer. Should we be spending time there? No, thank you. I told you I'm going to make y'all interact. Yes. Yeah. The answer is no. Spend as little time there as you can. But, I'm going to tell you, and I ran these large sales teams for years and years, and I've been guilty of this myself, and I'm guilty of it on occasion too. The not urgent, not important stuff can be fun, right? And we can actually justify that work. And I'll use my sales teams as an example. I could have a salesperson or a business owner sit in front of a computer and they could do stuff all day long. And it's stuff. But is it the right stuff? Checking social media. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. The delete zone. Thank you, Elise. Yeah. So that's pretty obvious. We don't want to spend a lot of time there. Now I have this, you'll have this chart, and you can write down what you should stop doing on here, which is just as important as what you start doing. The urgent and not important. Should we be spending time there? I'm getting some people weighing in. Delegate. Smart. Scott's seen this. He saw me present this. Cheater. Delegate's good. Yeah. So the answer is no, but you may have to spend some time here. Here is a good zone to delegate though. Right. And sometimes we have to do some of that urgent stuff. The key is like that urgent stuff. I call that like somebody's like, oh, I've been fighting fires all day. It's like, okay, good, I guess. But if you fight fires all day, you're never going to get to the important work. So the next zone is, and that's delusion. So the next zone is demand zone, urgent and important. Should we be spending time there? Yes, yes, with exclamation point. Yes, yes, yes. If we can get in this zone, we're going to be doing the great work and the most important work. That's the stuff that's going to move the needle and the stuff that's going to move the ball down the field over time. That's the stuff that's going to affect our business. And when we look back on our business a year from now, that's the stuff that's going to matter. So that's where we want to spend the majority of our time. What about not urgent, but important? Should we spend time there? Also, yes, got a lot of yeses. Okay, do after the last one, maybe. Best zone to spend time in. All right. Does anybody want to come off mute and tell me what would be considered not urgent, but important? Decompress zone. I like that. Anybody have any ideas?
Yeah, I can start.
Please.
Your important but not urgent, which you talked about in the beginning. You have your strategic goals and how to make sure you're aligned with what's outside of this week, but looking out to next week and the following, and are we on track with those longer term goals? And as a leader, that's really your zone, I feel, that are super important. But again, it's not urgent. And then when you're met up with a deadline and it's Friday night and you have to deliver something on Monday, it becomes urgent and important, and you're going to spend the whole weekend doing it. So
Yes.
It's a lot of time management and proactive thinking so that you can get in the zone of really thinking about the business and not being in the business.
I love it. That's beautiful, Elise. Thank you so much. That's great wisdom, and 100%. That's and the problem is that if we don't calendar this stuff, we're not going to get to it because the weeks go raw off the calendar. We're 8% through the year, and if we haven't spent any time in the not urgent but important zone, then our planning and our strategy and all the stuff that's really important to drive our business forward and hit the long-term goals we want to hit is going to be crushed. And I've seen, I was talking with a gentleman last night, it was about 5, and he's got a couple businesses. One's an AI business, and the other one is a sort of a logistics rail business. And the problem is he's so distracted in all these other, he's got these 2 businesses. He's trying to do this other thing. He's doing some consulting, and he's never hitting this not urgent but important zone of planning. And we realized last night, I'm like, he's missing out on some really sort of easy money, easy revenue for one of his businesses because he took his eye off of the sales ball. He had a sales director of sales that wasn't directing any sales. He was directing stuff, but there was no sales. So, and that's what happens. Like, he put the person in place, but if the person doesn't have the accountability measures around them, nothing happens. So brilliant. So when we're thinking about, again, our planning and strategy, what we're doing today, y'all, congratulations. You're taking time to do stuff. This is not urgent, the stuff we're doing today, but it's super important. And if we can agree by the end of this thing, we can either tweak our goals or make sure we're holding them accountable or make sure we're on track, break our brains a little bit and come up with other goals that are going to make sense in a quantifiable manner and achieve those in a timely manner, life is good. Okay. By the way, little aside here, y'all know that 70% of the people have no written or verbal goals or plan. 27% have verbal goals and only 3% have written goals. So of those 3% of written goals, how much of the wealth of the United States is accounted for by those 3% with written goals? Anybody got a guess? This is a percentage of wealth in the United States.
0.01.
No, it's actually the other way. Now think the other way. So the people that have written goals, how much of the wealth do they control in the United States? 99.699999%. It's not 100. It's statistically impossible. I like it though. It's close. It's 98%. So just the fact of writing down goals and having some accountability around them is going to get you to the top 2%, or at least 3%. You're already in a very unique situation if you have written down goals, which is why you're here today. So it's a little interesting thing. Okay, moving on. I want to show you this, and maybe y'all have seen this before, but when we think about, Scott mentioned delegation, and we think about that sort of not important, urgent stuff, and we think about delegation, I like to look at it this way. So on the left side, on the, let's see, would this be the x-axis, the one that goes vertically? I believe that's x, right? Come on, algebra people. Okay, yes, that's y-axis. See, I got you. Okay, thank you. So on the y-axis, I can tell you're listening and you're smart. The cost to delegate. So as the cost to delegate goes up, we want to delegate. So we want to delegate the least expensive stuff first. And then we want to delegate on the x-axis the stuff that we like the least and that sucks all our energy. We want to delegate that first. So when I put some examples on here, routine admin work, scheduling, would be stuff we could delegate easily. And then the more creative stuff, or the stuff we love doing, or the reason we got in business, is the stuff we're going to be less likely to give up, and the stuff that's more expensive. So, by the way, this is not my quote, but I love the quote. If you're looking around your company and you don't see a salesperson, that means you're the salesperson. So, so if you get to the point where you want to delegate sales, that's a more expensive position to delegate. But then, if it's something you don't like, then we got to generate enough other stuff and get the right salesperson, hold them accountable to do that. So hope this helps when you're thinking about delegation. All right. I'm going to move to the next slide. So let's talk about AI, because here's the other thing. here's our other tool now that we can use to delegate for our team. And I'm gonna tell you, my kids are 21 and 24. They hate AI with a passion. And you can like it or you can hate it. Doesn't really matter to me. I think what I would say is it's definitely going to change our world. Okay, you use it every day. So does anybody want to either put in the chat or come off? I put some ideas here of things we could use for AI that are kind of easy button things. Does anybody want to come off the mute and talk about something they're using AI for that could help the rest of us?
I mean, I can if you want.
Please.
All right. So that's pretty much all I do as far as my business is concerned, is how can I help a service-based business owner or triple revenue without hiring more staff, leveraging AI systems. And so one of the tools I like to use is Abacus AI because it takes all the LLMs, the top 25, and it just chooses the one best for the task that you're doing.
And when you say LLM, large language model, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I guess I shouldn't be talking.
So like ChatGPT,
Claude, Nano Banana. There's 25 of them in there.
Wow.
So, yeah, but so you don't have to do that, but I that way you're not tabbing around. I just recently got turned on to that, and it's a game changer.
What's it called again? Sorry.
It's abacus.ai.
Abacus.ai.
Yep, abacus.ai, and it's very credible. If you look that up, it's a lot of Fortune 500 companies are already using it. But it is a game changer as far as just leveraging those tools. But there's a lot of them. I don't want to. This is your.
No, keep going. I like that. So like, you think about businesses, if we're just say a lot of us are around 1 million. What do you think? What are the things you do first with AI? Because you got expertise here, so I'd love to hear your POV.
Yeah, so I think it's about when you're looking at AI, you want to eliminate the bottlenecks, right? So when we talk about eliminating bottlenecks, like you just said, it's there's a lot of automations. So having a 24/7 receptionist, AI can sound human right now. You got HeyGen out there, which is another one. You have all these tools out there, but it's not just having the tools. It's about how can you customize it to your own business. So like for my business, I make sure that there's an AI marketing playbook. Like, is the foundation even set? Because some people are like, dang, my citations suck. And I mean, we don't have time to get into that, but like, well, how are you showing up across the board?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, are you inconsistent? So you can have a lot of things with the AI. Getting back on track is that, you know, there's a lot of there are a lot of AI tools whether it's like your, not just chatbots. The chatbots are so 12 months ago. You know, because now you have now they're sounding really freaking good with the human component. A matter of fact, do you know I had one of my team members, I'm literally helping him get a work visa right now. So I have to go to an immigration attorney to get that to happen because he has his third MBA. He's an overachiever in data analytics. And if we don't think we have to use data in our business to have insights, we're kidding ourselves. So, and it's about data. So when you're talking about, you know, some of these AI tools and getting those, what it even says there, AI-driven data insights. So you got to pull these insights out. You can have AI do a lot of that heavy lifting so that you don't have to hire more staff. So that's what we're talking about, right? I mean, you have it right up there. When you have AI, you're 10xing. It's not about firing or laying off people. It's about how can you 10x your own employees that you have now. And that's what AI can do. Is it's your I hate to say 10x because that's overused a lot, but you literally, I mean, in your daily practice, when you're able to get more comfortable, it's just like riding a bike. Did you start riding a bike without first trying to like put the train wheels on? So it's just about every day that you use these AI tools, you just get better and better. These tools are like very user friendly. So
yeah, super. It's just practice. Yeah. In the military, they call it force multiplier. I love that. Hey, and then I like it for idea starting and iteration. And oh, by the way, Jeff, thank you for that. Can you put in the chat the name of the tool?
Yeah, I'll put a link in there.
How's it? Thank you. And then I think there's things you don't use AI for as well. And that's just as important, right? That's creative stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a perfect science, but it, like for those low level tasks that you shouldn't be doing the $30 an hour tasks or the minimum wage type tests.
Yep.
Probably should be outsourcing that stuff into AI.
Yes. 100%. And I'll tell you, the other thing is, and those of you, that have done this and done more of it, the more that you delegate and work on the smart stuff, whether you delegate it to AI or to a person, the more you can scale your business. And if you don't do that, you're going to get stuck. And I see business owners, this happens to them all the time. Like, well, I don't really know if I feel comfortable giving this task up. Well, if it's cheap and it's replicable and you don't feel comfortable giving it up, then it's either because you don't have the right people or you haven't trained them or you don't know how to hold them accountable. Like that's really the bottom line. So, okay. So thank you for that, Jeff. I really appreciate that. So think about AI as another place where you can say, I'm going to utilize this tool to scale my business. Okay. We're coming to the finish line, folks. So thank you for staying with me. I'm going to throw this up here. This is our 5 ways Action Coach 5 ways growth chassis. And I want you to see this because, and maybe some of you have already seen it, but it's been used over 32 years in 84 countries. We coach 15,000 businesses a week. So this is juicy stuff. So here's the thing. The things in red are the 5 levers that we can pull to increase our profit. So when you think about leads, that's quality of leads, that's number of leads, conversion rate, that's pretty obvious. And then leads times conversion rate gives you your clients. Now you'll see this stuff in the middle when you're thinking about working on your business. If we want to increase our conversion rate, one of the things we could do is have better scripting. If the owner has scripting that they use for sales and they haven't written it down and they haven't given it to the salespeople, then we need to do that. If we can use it on unique value proposition. What is our unique value proposition to our customers? And your unique value proposition, I'll tell you, Moose mentioned I was in 9 states. I was in advertising sales and I kept getting promoted and I ran a TV station, blah, 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 blah. That's why I was in 9 states. I wasn't running from the law or getting fired. I was actually promoted. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm not a fugitive. You will not find me on the post office wall yet. So that said, I'd go to an advertiser, a big car dealer, and I'd say, they're spending whatever, $100,000 a month, whatever. I'd say to them, hey, look, we're going to do a commercial for you. Like, what makes you different? And you know what they would do? Almost invariably, they'd say, well, gosh, we've been in business 30 years and we got really good staff and we got a great selection and we have really good service. And I'm like, congratulations. That's exactly the same thing everybody else says. So being really crisp on your unique value proposition and your people being crisp on this is absolutely critical to get people to stand out, to make your business stand out in the sea of businesses that are competing with you. And I would even add, especially with Amazon, to be an Amazon-proof business and to be an AI-proof business now, we've got to really work this personal side and this service side and what makes our business stand out. So I'm going to throw that in there. So anyway, leads times conversion rate gives you your clients times number of transactions. So if we can get them to come back one more time a year or whatever that looks like, times average sale. Average sale, here's an example of average sale, increasing average sale. Do you want fries with that? That's average sale, right? How many millions and millions of add-ons does McDonald's get because of that? And now, incidentally, a lot of these fast food places are using AI. And AI, I talked to a Checkers owner from Atlanta. AI is actually better at upselling than people are. So that's kind of scary. But anyway, another rabbit trail I could go down. So number of transactions, average sale gives you your revenue times your margin gives you your profit. Here's the thing. Yeah, AI asks every time. That's right. They're always asking. So here's the deal, guys. If you increase leads by 10%, so if you're getting 100 leads, you get 110. If you increase your conversion rate by 10%, so instead of 30, you get 33%. If you increase your number of transactions per year, let's say you're getting 5, you get 5.5. Increase that by 10%. If you increase your average sale, if your average sale is $100, you can increase that by 10%. You get 110% or $110. If you increase your margin, which is sort of derivative, if your margin was 40%, you make it 44%. How much does that increase your profit? Anybody throw a guess in the chat or say it out loud? Maybe you know this and seen this before. 67% close. Yes, it is a multiplier. It's 61%. If you increase them each 15%, so instead of 100 leads, you get 115. Instead of 30% closing rate, you get a 34.5% conversion rate. What do you think that gets all the way down in profit? Bottom line profit. It's 100%. Double, 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 double. So if you want to double the profit in your business this year, get 15% more leads, increase your conversion rate by 15%, increase your number of transactions, average sale margin, etc., and you will double your profit this year. Isn't that fun? Now, first of all, and I would set this, when you think it back to goal setting, which of these do we want to work on? And how are we going to work on it? Well, I found almost without any variance, I think maybe let's call it 85 to 90% of the time when I talk to a business and I ask them, do they know these numbers? The answer is either no, or I know some of them. So the first goal is we got to know the numbers. Otherwise, we don't know if we're getting any better. And we don't know how to change the numbers. And that's amazing. Thank you. Or maybe that's for Jeff. I'll take it either way. I'm taking the compliments today, doggone it. All right. So for Jeff, oh, you're killing me, Austin. You're complimenting Jeff instead of me. All right. I'm taking that personally. Anyway, where was I? I'm totally lost. Okay. So thinking about, I have nice hair. Thank you. So when I'm thinking about businesses and measuring their 5 ways, their leads, conversion rate, et cetera, think about digital marketing, because digital marketing is definitely one of your strategies. We can measure most of this stuff now, folks. Like, this is not complicated. And we measure it by, okay, when somebody does a form fill, picks up your phone and call, goes to the website, that's a conversion in digital marketing speak, correct? So they've got a conversion, and then how many people are going from that conversion to a customer? You know your customer. If the digital marketing folks give you the conversion and you can count how many of those are customers, we got something, right? So we got to ask the digital marketers for the conversion rate. And if there's any digital marketing people on here, I'm not dissing you, but oh, Scott. Okay. So Scott, perfect.
You got me
So
here
Scott,
too.
Yeah,
would you?
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So y'all, would you agree that the people that ask good questions get great service because you can actually, and you would agree that there may be competitors of yours out there that give attention to the squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they pay more attention to bigger clients, as we all do. But sometimes if you're not paying attention, your digital marketing guy isn't either, or your digital marketing lady either. I'm sure that's not you, Scott and Jeff.
Oh,
But
no,
there are
never.
some out there that aren't watching, correct?
Well, that's why I had to hire 5 interns just to help me with the data insights part, because it's about pulling insights out of your data. It's not just about like cookie cutter stuff.
Yes, you got to be custom, right? And you've got to figure out, how can I move the needle, and which words are giving me the highest conversion rate, and how am I getting the best bang for my buck, and where's the point of diminishing returns? Because like, I go to my vet clinic really quick, like, average lifetime customer value of a dog owner is at least $7,000. So if I can acquire that customer for $100, I would acquire them all day long. Like, why would I not? If it cost me $500, why would I not acquire them all day long? Well, you can't buy so many customers that you go broke while you're buying the customers, right? But you get my point. So please, please, please get with your digital marketing company. Make sure that they know you're watching, and that you can measure the effectiveness of your marketing, whether it's digital or whatever. You got to measure it. I mean, social, et cetera. You got me.
Well, real
Please.
quick, from that
Yes.
standpoint, just asking the question of which job gets you the most profits. When I ask companies that, they don't know the answer to it. It's like, okay, do we need to have a different conversation first, and then we'll go from there? Because sometimes they don't have a clue.
Yes, 100%. And if they don't have good information, how are you going to know what to act on, right?
Yep.
And Facebook ads recently, I mean, they change their stuff all the time, especially now. So you got to be careful if you're doing Facebook ads. It's not like it used to be. Even like they just updated that just in the past couple months. So it's not always like, hey, that worked before. Well, sorry. Welcome to ever-changing how Facebook's got to change that algorithm and how that's going to help you out. So
The algorithms are always moving. And now you've got you got chat and all the other ones that are coming in. They're being used. Gemini, that's being used for search. You got to position yourself from that. You got to be updating your Google business profile.
It's not
right?
SEO too. You got AEO because it's about people are searching. They're searching you through ChatGPT. Where can I find? So it's AEO. It's not just SEO for search engine. It's artificial intelligence optimization now, not just SEO.
Yes, 100%. So, okay. So thank you for that. It's so true. So, know your numbers and you'll be able to get a lot further down the road. Okay. So last thing I'm going to say now is it's time to do something. And here's what we do in our quarterly planning events. And I'm happy to do this. If you all want to, so let me tell you what we do first. When we get through the end of our quarterly planning events, we write ourselves a letter. Now I'll tell you, it's really cool and weird to get a letter from yourself, 3 months later. Okay. But the act of writing something down that you're going to do and what you're going to accomplish is awkward, is really powerful. And if you want to, you can, Rebecca, you want to put my email in the chat. If you want to email me your goal or goals or your letter to yourself, I will use my own stamp money, but you got to give me your address too. No salesman will call. I'm not going to spam you or put you on lists or anything. I may put you on my email marketing list if you're okay with that. If not, just tell me. But I will mail that back to you. You're going to get it at the end of the quarter. You're going to get a letter from yourself, and it's going to be what you want to accomplish. So if you would like to do that, you're sharing it with me, I guess. So if that's weird, don't do it. But, you could send yourself money. I don't know. That could be tough, but, anyway, so send me. So here's what the ask is: if you want to send a goal, send your or a set of goals, or just a letter to yourself. Here's how it's going to look at the end of the quarter. 2 months from now, I will mail that back to you. Okay, so that's offer one. Offer two, or offer. This is an offer. I do this cool podcast. I think it's pretty cool. It's called Fiihr Factor, Fiihr. That's my last name. I have local businesses on there. We talk about scaling. We talk about stuff that's real and actionable. It's on Spotify. It's on YouTube. I'd love to have you. Thank you, Rebecca. You're so good. So Rebecca put it up there. And then here's the last thing. If you all want to book a time with me, I'll give you I'll give you a half hour of my time. We can talk about whatever you want in your business. If you're a business owner, and that leads to something great. If it doesn't lead to anything, I don't care. We have a free process we go through, and we help businesses scale. And if that turns into revenue at some point, great. If it doesn't, I don't care. I love talking to business owners. The Calendly is there. I'm tired. I got to go to my accounting folks. They're my next client that I'm going to go see. I thank you all for your time and participation. And thank you, Scott and Moose. Y'all are great. You got a great organization here. You're doing the right things and doing it with integrity. And I'm so thankful for y'all. I'm thankful to be able to deal with businesses every day and see them grow. It's such a freaking awesome, fun job. So cheers. Any questions? I got 3 minutes, I guess.
Warren, thank you, bud. You were awesome.
Appreciate you, Moose.
Yes, thank you, Warren. And I'm going to go ahead and take over for just a second.
Please.
All right. And I'm going to put my ugly mug right there in front of y'all. Warren, thank you again for this wonderful presentation. I do want to encourage all of you to check back with us next month. All right. We do this on the first, third, and fourth Wednesday of every month. On the first Wednesday, that'll be February 4th, and we're going to be having our Network with the Nations. So if you want to reach beyond your locality, talk to people all over the world, Network with the Nations is a great place to do that. So definitely check in for that. Let me go ahead and share my screen here so I could actually show you what's happening. All right, February 18th. Yes, sorry, I'm sharing the right screen. February 18th, we will be having Miss Melanie DeShong. Once again, she will be covering the sales mindset for our sales mastery. And then Michelle Meir Feast and Alfred White. Chances are that you're leaving money on the table. That'll be February 25th, so do check in for that. Guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, Warren Fiihr, once again, kicking butt today.
Brother.
And I hope all of y'all kick the bad word out of 2026. Thank you once again, guys, and have a great one. Take care, y'all.
Cheers, folks. See you. Be good.
Cheers.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.